Do you know what is a power of ignoring a woman? You may have heard about it from a pickup artist. He may have informed you that a lady will like you more if you act distant around her. Is that actually the case? The answer is yes, but only if you do it correctly. If you approach women improperly, you risk losing out on some excellent prospects. Without a doubt, ignoring a lady can work wonders for attracting her attention. Additionally, it might make her detest you for the rest of your life. So let's make things plain once and for all. The psychology of ignoring a lady is about to be taught to you, starting with the incorrect approaches. What then are the two largest errors? Ignoring her is the first incorrect course of action. Let's imagine that you first encounter a woman at a party. Although she's attractive, you shouldn't act too enthusiastically. With the exception of the customary, "Hi, how's it going?" you decide to ignore her. Will that pique her interest in you? Not at all, and here's why. She will ignore you if you ignore her at the outset of the conversation. It makes sense for her to do it, after all. She therefore ignores you once you ignore her. And there is never an initial spark of attraction. That is the very first incorrect way to treat a lady. Here's the second incorrect approach: when she shows interest in you and you disregard her. Let's assume that you didn't simply ignore the attractive party guest. Instead, you talked to her and laughed a bit. You find out that you have a few things in common, which is wonderful. Then all of a sudden, she expresses interest in you. She could ask for your phone number. Alternatively, she may grin and move her hair out of the way if she notices you. You then realize that she likes you too. Better keep things calm. And begin acting distant around her. At moments like this, ignoring her is definitely not the right course of action. Consider this. Women often don't show their devotion to males they aren't dating. Why not? She does so in order to preserve their reputation. People would consider her to be promiscuous if they learned that she was covertly attempting to make a guy like her. The term tends to spread when others consider a lady to be slutty. In light of this, it is quite risky for a woman to exhibit to you her initial feelings of interest. It's like dumping a bucket of water over the spark when you neglect her at that time. She thus takes a big chance by expressing her liking for you. You then give the impression that you are rejecting her. She will obviously loathe you for the rest of her life. This is what I meant when I warned that if you approach ladies the incorrect way, you'll lose out on some fantastic possibilities. So that brings up the logical following query. How should you ignore a lady correctly? It's called interest piquing. You're about to discover how to neglect a woman and create an addiction in her, not simply one of attraction. Wouldn't it be fantastic if you could ignore ladies and still make them feel glued to you? Absolutely. Let me now elaborate on interest piquing. The psychology of ignoring a lady can only be comprehended via mind control. Here's how it functions. You start by showing her just enough interest or affection to elicit a warm response. Let's imagine, for example, that you chit-chat with the attractive female you met at the party. She is delighted when you discover a few mutual hobbies. After that, you say to her, "I like you, we should definitely get together sometime." She then parted ways after giving you her phone number. Now, contrary to what most pickup artists advise you to do, you don't call her up 24 hours later. You ignore her instead by avoiding any communication with her for about a week, or until she contacts you first. Then you express interest once more in an effort to advance your connection. For instance, when you go on a date with her, you make sure you both have a great time. After the date, you continue to ignore her for almost a week. Then you rekindle the romance by doing something very enjoyable with her. It could appear illogical. However, there is strong mind control operating in the background. As the name suggests, curiosity piquing gradually piqued her interest. You truly ignore her on the days when you want her to forget about you. If she ever has such a wonderful time with you again, she wonders. She wants to see you more and more the more she thinks about you. And the more enjoyable activities you have with her, the more drawn to you she becomes. She misses you more and wants to see you more the longer you ignore her in between dates. She can hold it until she can no longer. Congratulations when that occurs. By ignoring her, you've been able to make her fall in love with you. Now that interest piquing is so effective, it's simple to recognize its shortcomings. Specifically, it takes time to see the desired consequences. Usually a few weeks or more. Additionally, you must be a pro at organizing enjoyable dates. You may find that to be difficult. So here is the following query. What if you want her to be attracted to you at this very moment? Even so, is that possible? Yes, it is possible. Additionally, it involves the fractionation method of mind control. What does fractionation actually mean? Simply said, it's a narrative style with just one goal in mind. And the goal is to send a lady through a series of strong emotional upheavals swiftly. Why? It's all due to a little-known flaw in the way that women think. Every woman has a weakness for emotional ups and downs. More specifically, she develops an addiction to emotional thrill rides. She feels more and more dependent on you as she experiences more emotional ups and downs. Fractionation derives its enormous strength from this. You may send her on a number of emotional roller coasters at once by employing the proper stories. In the same period of time, she may also become utterly dependent on you.